Hey, yo, lunchmates! Today we are recording live from the MCU!
What? It's
Yeah.
great to be here.
So unexpected.
I have so much pent-up aggression.
What?
I hate DC.
I like Batman.
Yeah, Batman's cool.
We'll talk about him in another episode, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Today we're going to be talking about Wandavision, Falcon, and upcoming Marvel stuff.
Sweet.
Nice
Mhm.
on.
A better topic to talk about.
Speaking of WandaVision, there's a whole bunch of Easter eggs I'm going to talk to you guys about.
Let's go.
Hello,
Kenny.
Ken.
Let's do this.
Hype man.
So for episode 1 of WandaVision, the commercial, the toaster,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you'll see the Stark name on it. And you'll also hear two familiar sounds. One of them is a Stark bomb, the wind up,
Mm-hmm.
and it's also the repulsor wind up for Iron Man's gauntlet.
Oh no
Oh, it
way!
is?
Oh,
Yeah, that's subtly in there. You can hear like
Oh.
I can't do the sound myself. They're like a high pitch.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that.
There you go.
Danielle, our excellent sound guy.
There we go. That's actually really good.
Episode 4, you could see Woo from Ant-Man.
What are you
Wait,
doing?
Yeah, isn't that you can see him perform his magic card trick. He finally learned after the years of the snap.
I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say that was like one of the subtlest, but like one of the funniest references I've ever seen. Him doing the card trick that he was like,
Yeah.
how do you do that?
I liked Woo for that, man. That's the only good thing from that second movie.
There's a couple of good things.
I like both Ant-Man movies. They're just underrated. Like they just don't have as much weight to them as other movies.
I think they're wrongly placed. Like after
think it's only
Endgame,
because,
like after Infinity War, it shouldn't have been an
yeah.
Ant-Man.
Well, because
Plus
like
they-
if you watch the movie, there's like no stakes. It's just a little heist movie to get a suit, and then he's in house arrest. And that's it.
You know what the problem is? There's no stakes, but they have such like world-bending technology in them
That's
that you're like,
true.
Yeah.
why isn't there stakes?
In the first one, he sees Falcon and bodies him.
Yeah, I like that scene.
I like it too. Falcon gets embarrassed.
Another episode from WandaVision, also Stark related, is in episode 5 where they use that drone to fly into WandaVision. It's actually a Stark drone. You can see the name of it.
Oh, I
So
saw
Stark's
that one.
name.
I saw that. Yeah,
Is Stark still like making weapons and stuff?
his company could still be making stuff.
His company's still
He's not making weapons in Iron Man 1.
It's not making weapons, but it was modded for the times. Like it was an old timey drone that flew in.
Oh yeah, you're right. They said they had to get an old drone.
And plus, they're the ones that armed it. It was just a regular drone.
What does
Yeah.
Stark's company even do now? They doesn't make weapons anymore. He was a weapons manufacturer in Iron Man 1. Then at the end of
They
the movie,
make
he
villains.
stopped that. They just make villains.
Big villains.
They make
So, like,
villains and clean up Tony's mess.
The movie, all the tech Tony makes is always for himself. The glasses that Spider-Man has, that's for himself. The suit is for himself. Never makes tech for like the mass population of people.
I think he might. I think it's just like not weapon based. I think it's
Yeah.
just like tech. Yeah.
And shields and other stuff.
Just listing off the stuff he's made for other Avengers. Infinity Gauntlets that you can get at like, your Home Depot.
Time
all
travel,
your standard stuff,
all the simple stuff.
for your everyday superhero needs.
Yeah, that's all it is. The one-stop shop. Just
His best friend got paralyzed from waist down, give him new legs.
the new robotic enhancements to everyone.
Does he still wear those?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
he's still. If he's not in the suit, he does.
Okay.
This is why in Infinity War you can see him crawling around when he jumps out of the suit unexpectedly.
Oh, for real?
When he goes and he helps who did he help? I forget. He helps Rocket. You can see him like crawl on debris because he can't get up.
Oh, damn! I didn't.
Yeah. His legs aren't moving. He's using his arms.
I just thought that over time the guy healed or something because you never would see him wearing them.
I don't think over time you can break a. You
I
can repair a
I
spine.
knew the injury wasn't that bad.
Oh, they say he broke his spine.
Oh, for
Yeah,
real? Oh,
it
okay.
was
Yeah.
it was that bad.
Yeah, it was that
Damn.
bad.
I mean, he got shot out the sky, so
Yeah, he was lucky it was only his spine that broke.
look, it's only waist down.
Yeah.
Man, any
Yeah,
other Easter eggs? I swear every commercial was an Easter egg in you know.
yeah, there's a couple of commercials that
Yeah.
are kind of cool references to everything. There's the Hydra soap, which is a reference to Agents of Shield.
I
Really?
love
What?
that. I love
Yeah.
that.
They're when they
I
go in the
noticed that
alternate
one.
timeline. They
Oh,
talk
that
about how
timeline.
Hydra makes their own soap to brainwash everyone.
If anyone would understand, it'd be you.
I would have figured it out a long time ago if it wasn't for the mind control soap.
Yeah. Wait, what?
That blue soap everyone uses? Hydra loads it up with chemicals. It seeps into our bloodstream, implants false memories into our brains. They want us to believe this is a magical place. But don't worry, I'm clear. I make my own soap now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, but I thought that Agents of Shield wasn't canon anymore.
It's not. It's in its own universe, but it was a reference to that universe kind of thing.
Okay.
It was like this silly little nod.
Wasn't it
Even then,
canon in the
even then, it's
beginning?
played as a joke that like they didn't actually make that. That's just what like the mass population believes.
Oh, I
Was it
see.
Agent of Shield canon in the beginning, and then
It sort of was, and then they've diverted paths several times due to time
I think
travel.
it was canon to the MCU. No, MCU was canon to it, but it was not
Yeah.
canon to the MCU. So like things in the movies happened, like were real in the show, but things in the show weren't real in the movies.
okay, I see.
Speaking of which, you see the Darkhold in both shows, and they're completely different.
Yeah.
What's a Darkhold?
The book that Agatha has at the end.
You see how
Star
Agent
Wars
of Shield?
Yeah. It looks
Isn't
completely
that-
different, and it's used to like create portals to like other worlds.
Wasn't that book from the ancient ones from Doctor Strange, one from her secret stash or her secret?
People think that's what it is.
Yeah, that's just a theory right now.
I think
make
it is
a-
as well, but
What
Yeah, it
connects
make a lot of
Wanda and
sense.
Doctor Strange
I
together?
feel like it wasn't supposed to be, but now that fans have noticed, they're probably going to be like, "Yeah, that's it."
Yeah, we planned it all from the
Yeah.
beginning.
Look how smart we are.
it makes me think of how much of the MCU is like that.
I think a lot is. Like, remember the kid from Iron Man 3 or whatever that wears the helmet? They're like, "Oh yeah, that was Peter Parker all along."
That the
wait, what?
Infinity Gauntlet you see for 1 second in Thor that had all the
Yeah, and then
Wasn't
later,
it fake?
oh, it's fake.
she's like, oh, it's fake.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, are
I
they?
feel like a lot of
so
stuff
you
like
mean
that.
you mean they were hinting that was actually the gauntlet, or it was a fake?
No, it was just shown in Thor.
It was
People were
shown for like 1
"Yo."
millisecond in Thor. You could
Yeah,
see
and
like the gauntlet with all the stones.
And then when
Yeah,
Thanos
yeah.
was shown, he was wearing his own gauntlet during the trailers for
Oh, I
Infinity War.
see.
So they're like, so
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
two
yeah.
gauntlets now, and they were like,
Yeah, and they
"Nah,
just
that's
made a
fake."
comment that that's fake.
Like, didn't Loki like push it over or something?
Hela does. He's like, oh yeah, fake.
Yeah, I love that Thor Ragnarok. I love that one.
The only good Thor movie.
I didn't mind. I didn't mind the.
Thor
I
1
didn't
was
mind,
alright.
Yeah, I didn't mind the first one. You know what? To be honest, maybe this is just my biased opinion, but I didn't mind the second one. I liked its concept, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite Thor. But I thought it still had some validity to it.
The second one doesn't deserve as much hate as it gets. I'll agree to that.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
I think
not-
that,
it's not-
that end game makes you think it's better than it really is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because you go back and you kind of reconnect with Thor's mom.
Mom. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean the whole ether and like the reality stone itself. You know, like I mean that's where it all isn't.
It was a cool
Thor
concept, but
Dark World-
underused because they heavily use it in Infinity War, and I feel like that would have been cooler to see that in Dark World
Yeah.
Yeah.
instead of using it just to push Thor away.
Yeah, it was pretty. Plus the scene, like where all the portals are opening and Mjolnir's getting confused about which way it should go to Thor. I was like, come on, it's a magic hammer, man.
Yeah. Oh man.
You gotta think this thing hasn't happened in its lifetime. In the hammers.
I don't care. Like, come on.
Yeah, just straight to his hand.
They're just trying to like basically separate him from his strong weapon for longer so that he's not whooping everyone.
Oh man. But Kenny, any other Easter eggs?
I got a couple for the new show, Winter Soldier. The first 2 episodes that have appeared since recording this broadcast.
Spoilers, I guess. By the way,
I have some, but not much.
And for WandaVision, if you haven't seen it.
Oh, and yeah. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah,
Has there been 3 episodes?
yeah. There's been 2. That's what I said.
No, I said isn't it 3? Or the only
no.
2?
As of recording this,
As of recording this,
tomorrow,
there's 2.
no, the day after tomorrow there will be 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So by the time this gets released, there'll probably be like 5 or 4
I thought
episodes or something.
it's only because I thought it came out 2 episodes, like how WandaVision came out.
No, it only came out 1 at a time.
Yeah.
Speaking of the 1 at a time, the first episode is you see a lot in the museum.
Yeah.
You see Captain America's suit from the Avengers and World War II. You see his bike, which I'm sad he never rode again. The bike. That was a cool
Yeah,
bike.
I
He just
noticed
left.
The wait from what?
From World War II, the one with the flamethrowers and the rockets and like the cables.
Flamethrower. What kind of
He did.
motorcycle is this?
He did
Yeah,
ride one in Age of Ultron though.
Yeah, he didn't. But it would have been cool to see that same bike because it was still pretty tragedy.
Yeah.
It just instead of being like, oh, this is just a normal bike, a bike that No, it doesn't. Black Widow rides it, not Cap.
No. Cap rides it. Remember, he does that scene at the very beginning where he like flips over
Oh,
and
yeah.
throws the motorcycle at.
Yeah, I was thinking of a different time. I was thinking when he was facing Vision
Oh no. Well, he's facing Ultron.
or Ultron. Yeah, at that. Yeah, you see that. You see an outfit from one of his Howling Commandos.
Sweet.
One of his retired outfits that from the you barely see again. The Howling Commandos. They get one reference in, get one show in Age of Carter, and that's it.
Look, you don't need to think too hard about it.
And then in 2, this is an interesting thing. When you see Baron von Strucker, not Baron. What am I thinking of?
Are you talking about
Baron Zemo?
Zemo?
Yeah, Baron Zemo. Yes, thank you. You see the cell number is 2187. That's the same Star Wars cell number that Leia was in.
187.
Oh, no way.
Really?
Yeah, when Han says go check 2817, that's where he is. That's the same one. It's the same cell
Disney,
number.
man.
Oh man, I love that. I haven't seen the episodes yet, and don't worry, it's okay. I'm not. I don't care too much for spoilers. All good. No. I don't care.
That's
So
too late now.
Yeah.
It's too late. It's all good. No, don't worry.
Disney likes
I'm not-
flexing on itself.
Yeah.
I love.
It's the same.
I love
It's also
that,
the same number that Finn is get in the Star Wars before he becomes Finn.
Oh,
Is Stormtrooper
FN
2817.
Oh, his storm.
Yeah, 2187.
Yeah, it's F2817 as well.
Wow. I you know what? I kind of like that as like a huge and major Star Wars fan. Like I like seeing that kind of crossover, even though it may not, obviously it's not in the same universe, but it's just kind of the directors and the whole Disney making it. Oh yeah, you notice that
References to each other.
Yeah,
it's
it's
kinda
Disney
cool.
reference to its other.
Speaking of references, isn't there a lot of sitcom references in Wandavision, Alec?
Oh, Kenny, guys, let me tell you right now. I've been waiting for this. Yeah. So anyway, there are a lot of yeah. There's quite a few, and I'm sure like those who've been watching WandaVision have noticed. Maybe not so much the younger generation, but if you've been watching your parents who may have grown up in the 60s, 70s, and so on, they're gonna notice a lot of cool little sitcom references that they grew up with. Let's start back with episode 1 and 2 of WandaVision. The whole black and white kind of 4:3 ratio of the TV, bringing a lot of 50s vibes. Those episodes are in direct reference to the Dick Van Dyke Show, and mainly Dick Van Dyke Show. Elizabeth Olsen is also credited that they took some inspiration from the 50s sitcom I Love Lucy, starring Lucille Ball. I don't know if I've watched all of these shows because I actually most people don't know that I love watching old sitcoms actually. So I was like, when I watched this, I'm like, this is the first thing I noticed. Dick Van Dyke, I Love Lucy. Some other ones they referenced was Leave It to Beaver, The Honeymooners. The funny thing is that the directors for WandaVision and the writers actually sat down with Dick Van Dyke and consulted on the first 2 episodes of recording it. So
I heard he was on set for some of it.
Yeah. And so it was kind of cool to see that he actually to really get that authentic 50s sitcom vibe, they actually had one of the biggest stars of that era like help them out, you know? It's really cool. Moving on to episode 3, or no, still it kind of gets a bit confusing, but it's kind of episode 1 and 2 still, mainly around episode 2 of WandaVision. We move on to a sitcom known as Bewitched. Still black and white, you know, it's at that point where you know, when WandaVision starts slowly getting some color, you know, to it, like so it's based off of a sitcom called Bewitched, and you know, for, you know, people who've, you know, grew up watching it, or if you just watching Bewitched in general, the intro is very similar. If we can get a picture of like the two, you know, sitcom like openings like on this video here, you'll see that the animated intro for WandaVision is a direct spin-off of the intro for the Bewitched series.
Isn't one of the houses
I was gonna say Agatha's house is also the exact same.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And so all these kind of like all these cool little, like, you know, Easter eggs, or I don't know if you call them, I guess you would call them kind of Easter eggs for like sitcoms and stuff. So what's it called? It basically, the Bewitched series originally starred Elizabeth Montgomery, who was a witch who marries a normal man and tried to live a normal life. So they kind of played that with the whole WandaVision thing with, okay, well, Wanda's pretty much a witch, and although Vision's not totally normal, he kind of portrayed himself as a normal guy in a, you know, in the whole series, right? Up until a certain point. Yeah. Anyways, another series it kind of based off of around episode 2 was a show called I Dream of Jeannie, which is about a 2,000-year-old genie who falls in love with an astronaut. And do you guys remember that episode where Vision swallowed that gum and was kind of breaking down?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. There's an episode of I Dream of Jeannie that was exactly or directly inspired that scene. So that if you ever want to know, that's where that's from. That's cool. Now we get to episode 3 of WandaVision. This is probably like one of my favorites. It's around when WandaVision gets around the 70s eras, like with the 70s sitcoms, and it's directly like coming out of the Brady Bunch. If you guys ever watched that,
it's very Brady Bunch.
Yeah, very, especially the opening with the whole, you know, hexagon, you know, like pictures of like Vision and Wanda, like like going back to Brady Bunch with the whole like squares and showing all the kids and whatever. It's really cool. It also takes a slight inspiration from the Partridge Family, the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and it's actually something out of that episode was really cool. Do you remember when Wanda was giving birth and that Dr. Nielsen came to? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's a little Easter egg in that for like sitcom Easter eggs. They named him Nielsen, or maybe Wanda named him Nielsen. I'm not sure. As far as like which way you want to take it, but Nielsen back in the 70s and 80s was something called the Nielsen ratings, which was basically an old methodology during the 70s and 80s that tracked the number of broadcast views of popular 70s and 80s television shows.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the Doctor is kind of like paying homage to an old broadcast tracking system, which is kind of like the whole thing about
whole theme,
you know.
Whole theme.
Yeah. Just to finish up the 70s portion, there's a scene where Vision is holding up a doll, like practicing changing a diaper on it. The doll is actually the exact same doll that Cindy Brady used in the Brady Bunch. If you like take a picture of it, it's really cool. Moving on to episode 4, when the series kind of gets into the whole 80s thing, the main inspiration for those WandaVision episodes around the 80s was heavily inspired by Family Ties. Other things that other shows it was kind of also inspired by was Step by Step, Growing Pains, and Full House. And the intro of episode 4, the intro is like almost exactly like Family Ties. The whole how they're kind of being painted in this portrait, and like it's kind of like, you know what I mean. Anyways, yeah, just check it out. We'll get a picture of the two up there. You'll see how cool it is. Then we get to episode 6 of WandaVision, and that is taking, and this is where I kind of like started to like kind of freak out. Took direct inspiration from Malcolm in the Middle.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, right. And the beginning, the intro is like, the song is exactly like the title track "Yes, No, Maybe" song. It's pretty cool. And yeah, so in the opening credit, the way the whole cinematography is just like Malcolm in the Middle. It's just kind of got that whole vibe. And the cool thing is, if for those who haven't watched Malcolm in the Middle, her kids, Billy and Tommy, like Wanda's kids, in that episode they reference the camera a lot, right? But you never see the parents talk to the camera. Like you never see Vision or Wanda like speak to the camera directly. Only in that episode, Billy and Tommy are talking to the camera, and that's kind of like an homage. Yeah, because Malcolm does it, right?
What is?
Right? It's kind of cool, right? And
I just remember Malcolm did that a lot, and that's sick.
Yeah, right. I could have freaked that out when I saw it. I'm like, this looks very familiar. And then I actually went to go back and watch a Malcolm in the Middle episode. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's exactly the same. That's so cool. But my favorite, I think, is episode 7, which is the last one I want to talk about. Heavily inspired by Modern Family. I've watched a lot of Modern Family, and
I watched all of it. It's such a good show.
It is. It's so good.
What show? Modern Family?
Modern Family. It's because you could, as soon as Wanda started talking to the camera like an interview, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is Modern Family. I'm like, this is, and you could also say they also took some inspiration from The Office, because they do that same thing where it's like they interview the camera. It's like, and all that stuff. The intro for that WandaVision episode had a very upbeat piano song, much like The Office. It also kind of running at the same time, around 40 seconds. Her house also in that episode was very similar to the Dunphy's house, which is the Modern Family home. So yeah, that kind of wraps up.
That kind of WandaVision. What do you think of WandaVision, Cynric?
WandaVision. Overall, I thought it was a pretty decent thing, but a lot of people have different opinions on it. So in my talk, I think I'm gonna go talk over at the very end of how it can either be a success or a failure. But went off of what Alex said earlier is that if people are still paying attention to it,
yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. He talked more about the 1950s aspect, 1960s, and so on, and like just the time settings. I thought that was really well done. It was a really good feature for them to use. It's something that you wouldn't really expect them to do, actually, to make a show like Marvel. You never expect them to do something on this type of capability. No. And how they got the stuff like period correct as well, like in terms of like hairstyles and all that. It's pretty well done.
Yeah.
The only thing is that the first two, you feel that like the first 2 episodes are just kind of fillers, in my opinion. Like, sure, you get to see like the beginning of how you don't even see like anything, like you see like the setting, but you don't really like they don't give you any like usable information until like the 3rd episode when they have the teaser at the very end.
But I feel like that's what they do, though. I feel like it was meant to entice you to help you try to figure out what's going on instead of them telling you.
Yeah, but I feel like it could have just been the first episode. You didn't need like 2.
Yeah, because if you think about when it came out and the first episode, like
if you think about it,
the second episode was exactly the same. And I was like, what's the point of the second episode?
If you really think about it, there's more people like me. Like, for example, you guys all watched it when it first came out, but I literally waited until something interesting happened, and then I started watching it because I knew of all the reviews online on the first episode. I felt even when I watched them after the interesting episode came out, it was just so boring to get through, and it was just like fillers, in my opinion, just like how anime has fillers, like a lot of them, depending on which it is. But like this one, it felt like it was just dragged on longer than they should have, with like a small teaser at the end of episode 3 as a reward, essentially.
Yeah, I mean there were a few moments in between, like when the boss guy starts choking.
Yeah, those are small things, in my opinion.
That scene was pretty intense. Like because then you see wasn't there that moment where like Wanda kind of had that like,
Yeah,
close up on her face?
Yeah.
Another thing too, like if like there's really nothing helpful to the plot essentially. Like you already assume the kind of powers, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
you
after,
already know.
yeah, like after episode 3 though, it gets more interesting, and we get to see color as well with the plane, and that's when you start getting like your tension focus on like what's gonna happen next, and you have to wait for
Yeah.
next week to find out pretty
Well,
much.
I was telling Cynic about this, how like every episode after like the first two, it was like, wait till next week, it's gonna be a big episode. Okay, I'm waiting till next week. Next week comes and it's the same thing. Wait till next week till a big episode.
Yeah, it
Happened
was
for 7
Yeah.
episodes
honestly
until last episode.
it
I'm
wasn't
like, that's
annoying
it?
though. It was pretty interesting, but
I
it,
feel like the payoff wasn't big enough for the setups.
yeah, like that's the next thing I was gonna get into as well. It's like after like in a little bit, like you're like I think it was the 4th episode or the 5th. They introduced Pietro. You know Pietro from Wanda's brother,
Yeah.
and basically he like the storyline. It just like they could have done something with it. Like the storyline was like it was all right, but and then the way they dismissed him too was just weird. Like
It was a joke. They
joke.
literally made a joke about it.
Boner joke.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I didn't mind the joke. I just didn't like it was used on him. If it was like some next character, I wouldn't care. But because it's him and he's known from X-Men,
That's
as
what I'm
Quicksilver,
saying.
that's
it's
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "Hey,
it's a
look,
waste
there's
of the actor.
crossover."
look.
If they got a different actor and named him Peter,
I
just
wouldn't
like
have
gave
a
him the same
problem.
thing, I think it would have been better.
Look,
Fair enough.
they don't have to make references to MCU, but the last time we've seen one is like over 500 days with Spider-Man's movie. And I felt like they've had so like a lot of missed opportunities with like referencing and cameos. I felt like they could have done that as well as they could have introduced like a Doctor Strange cameo.
Yes, where
As
was
well.
he?
Bro, literally,
It's too small for
was
him, man.
waiting.
That's the thing, though.
What do you
Doctor
mean it was
Strange
too
usually deals-
small? She
Bro,
was
Doctor
Strange
one of the most powerful people in the entire series.
Yes, but she's only taking over a town. Doctor Strange deals with like universe-ending stuff,
yeah,
man.
but in the last episode, Agatha Harkness says that Wanda is stronger than the Silver.
Can you repeat
And I
what
was
you
like,
said?
bro, if she's
Repeat what you
strong enough,
Glitchy, could you repeat what you said?
Agatha Harkness said that thing said that Wanda is stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme, and that's Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you don't
Like,
see a
if
direct.
he's making such a big deal with the hex, he should catch his attention, no?
Because
He's big.
Doctor Strange, even in his own movies, dealt with world-ending things, not small town problems.
Yeah, But
I think
what,
the world.
what else
I
is he
think
dealing with?
I think a town being held hostage under magical control is a
A
very
chaos
serious
witch.
issue. And like they had a lot of missed opportunities in my opinion. And they always had that thing that Kalichi mentioned where it's like and so did Daniel about the constant build up with no reward, like I also mentioned earlier with the small teasers and stuff like that. Sword was very for me the main guy in Sword who banished those three, like the I forgot
He was
their
such a
names.
weak villain.
He was a
Yeah.
very weak
That was
villain.
Terrible.
Like Agatha Hartley, I believe she was a really nice villain, and she gave us she's like a component to the story that helps us know more about Wanda's power, because we didn't know much about it if we just watched the movies, you know.
Yeah.
And
In the movie, all he did was twiddle her fingers. Things happen.
it was very like I liked Agatha a lot, but he was a very weak villain. Even when it was Vision versus a White Vision, I felt like the fight could have been longer, or we could have got more out of it. But the White Vision
I
kind
thought
of
it was cool how he
dips.
didn't defeat him with power. He defeated him with brains. I thought that was a cool.
I
Yeah,
like I like the whole
I have
theory.
to.
I liked it too, but I felt like it
Yeah,
could
I
have been
kinda-
more. It could have been more out of it.
I kind of I don't know. I kind of like it. Like I mean, yeah, maybe they're made of could have been more action, but I actually would have preferred it like the just the way they did it, because it's like kind of like he's like making them realize you were just built. You don't have to be evil.
Yeah.
Thing,
No,
yeah.
actually, because the way if you think about who ever since he was made, he always questioned what. Then he died, and
Yeah.
Wanda builds him back up, and he sees his real body. So he's like, okay, he's instead of fighting his body, he's like, yo, let's talk this out. Let's try to understand what's going on, because I'm the real me, and you are my
the real
body.
you as well.
Yeah, so like, what's happening here? And literally talk, I try to understand. And the White Vision is like, okay, I know I'm you, and you're me, and then he gives him his memories, which I think is kind of not.
Well,
That
that
was
was
a
kind
bit
of
of a cop-out.
cool. But like still, like I felt like for all this time we were just waiting for something to happen of all those episodes. It's just underwhelming.
I didn't need like a big fight, but I would have rather like give us a big revelation at the end or
Yeah,
something.
'cause all we got
We
was
all knew
Wanda,
she was
Wanda
Scarlet
gets
Witch
the book.
already.
That was
And they just kind of ended on like a romantic type of note. Like and yeah, but
But that's I think that's okay because that's kind of
think-
the essence of
I know,
what-
Yeah,
but
'cause
the thing is
it's not a
like
big Marvel movie. It's a small little TV show, right?
yeah, but it felt like it was just that was just really underwhelming.
Yeah, it felt
my
like it was
opinion.
leading up to something big, or at least that it would tease something big at the very end, but it didn't.
Yeah.
I do admit they
We
should have
all-
had a tease to Doctor Strange
Yeah.
multiverse,
I think so
maybe.
Yeah, if anything, like, that's just probably the one thing I was waiting for was to see Doctor Strange.
what I didn't like the most is that everyone knows Disney bought out Fox and had the X-Men, so we know
Yes.
eventually it's gonna come. And if we're not gonna put at least like effort into it, so why would we be like waiting for nothing to happen? And when I saw the Quicksilver, the actor, show up, I'm like, yo, now they're actually doing something, and then they don't do anything with it. I'm like, okay, so if Quicksilver ever does come back, are we gonna use the same actor? Because it won't make any sense.
They
Yeah,
can't. No.
I thought it would have been better if they didn't use the same actor.
Yeah.
Not that he didn't do a good job, but they used a different actor,
Mhm.
but just gave him the same name.
They
thought
really
that
should
would've
have
been at
just
least
used
better.
the same actor as her brother and just
Brought him
That or
back.
just a random person would have worked. Not that that actor I can't think of the name of didn't do a great job.
Even think about it, even reference. He even talked about how he doesn't. You even talk about how like he doesn't look the same. Like, oh, you're my brother, but you don't look the way you used to look. And you're like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then they could have just used some random actor. They didn't have to like set us
Bring
up
him
for
in.
failure, basically.
Yeah, it really questions how these next set of Marvel TV shows are gonna come out. And like will they be the same underwhelming essence, you feel?
Well, so
I
far,
don't
Falcon
feel
and Winter
so.
Soldier isn't setting up like anything huge. So it's basically, I think it's gonna pay off on what it.
Yeah, I
is
think
gonna-
it's gonna pay off too.
Yeah. Glitchy, what do you think? What predictions do you have for the future
I
of the
think-
Marvel TV shows?
Like Daniel said, the way I mean, Falcon and Winter only had like 2 episodes out, so we can't really say much about it. But like from those 2 episodes, they're kind of building up the way the world looks at people. Because the whole point of Falcon Winter Soldier, how the world looks at heroes, people after the blip. WandaVision was happening. There was only one and the only stuff, right? So I think the more shows that come out, depending where the timeline they put the show in, it's gonna be good, And when does Loki come out? But Loki's has nothing to do with it.
Loki comes out
Oh, I'm waiting for that.
2 weeks after, like a week after Winter Soldier ends, I think.
a week after. But Loki has nothing to do with the actual universe because he's just kind of hopping around through space, no?
Yeah, he's just time jumping.
Yeah, his doesn't really need to fit anywhere in the timeline.
So Loki,
His whole thing is that it's different timelines that he fits into.
but Hawkeye has a TV show, no?
Yep,
He's
Hawkeye has a
in the
TV show.
future.
Yeah, but like, what's he going to do? Who's he going to?
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be about him training up his daughter.
Yeah, he's training her, and I'm assuming it's setting up the Young Avengers.
Yeah, I assume
But
these
who-
all are. Same
but
with
who would be the Young
Speed,
Avengers?
Wiccan.
It's his Hawkeye's daughter. Who else is young?
Speed and Wiccan, the kids from Wandavision.
They're
Yeah,
not alive.
there's-
They're not real.
You hear them talking in the end thing with Wanda in the cabin.
Oh, yeah, when she sit on the book.
Yeah.
Then I think
it's also
Iron Lad and Spider-Man.
Iron
probably.
Lad, and then there's that Captain Kid from the Winter Soldier
Kid.
that we showed like
I
2
don't-
minutes of last episode.
I don't
Captain
think that's
Kid.
gonna happen.
Who?
He's basically like the Captain America for the next Avengers kind of thing.
The
I
Captain
don't
Kid.
think that's
I
happening.
don't see no one in Captain Kid.
He was the kid of the old man from from the new episode of Falcon.
Oh, that kid?
Yeah.
Oh, nah. I
It's
get
the
that
same
from
name in the
Mario.
comics.
Oh, really? Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about that
I
one.
don't know about that one either. Maybe Ant-Man.
They need a Captain America like person. Why not him?
Oh yeah, and then Ant-Man's daughter, her too. Stature.
Stature,
That's her name?
growth kid.
That's pretty cool.
I think she's also gonna be appearing in The new Ant-Man movie, the Quantum Time or something.
Quantumania.
What's up with what's up with the new movies? Because like we just have names for them with no like I know what's it called the name? Scarlet Witch, the Black Widow movie's coming out soon, but that is kind of irrelevant. Kind of a backstory. Right?
It might lead in like you. I'm assuming it's gonna have some payoff in the future.
I feel like the only payoff it'd be a character. Like, let's say the character in the movie, like someone that like let's say like one person's gotta die. Okay? That's the way movies are. One character's gonna die, and then someone's going to die.
It could set up like the Red Room, like the assassins being a future problem.
Mm-hmm. And then maybe one of her like the side characters gonna show up in some later movie.
Yeah,
but like the Doctor Strange movie is a multiverse movie. Whenever that comes out, that's probably going to deal with Loki. Probably going to show up in that movie. That's probably going to come back.
You think?
I mean, if Loki's messing up with alternate timelines and multiverse stuff with his whole time space stuff, that could be how he comes back into the main universe. Unless they want, if not, what's Loki going to do? Be bouncing around through time and space? That's boring.
Well, I think that's what he is going to be doing.
That is what he's going to be doing.
And the Ant-Man got the quantum stuff, which who knows what that even. And then Thor has his movie, which we have no detail, no information about that. And I don't know.
Some detail. Like we know that what's her name again? The girlfriend from the first two movies?
Jane Foster?
Jane Foster.
Yeah.
She's coming back?
She's going to be Thor.
We know that.
The new Thor.
Yeah. We know Beta Ray Bill's going to be in it.
For real?
Yeah.
Yo, I don't even know about this.
And
Wait,
apparently Throg is going to be in it.
From Ragnarok?
Throg is
Throg from...
It's Thor as a frog.
As a frog.
I'm pretty sure. It might be a rumor, but that's what I heard.
How's Jane Foster?
That was a rumor too. I don't know if
Jane Foster going to be Thor? Maybe from Mjolnir.
She's going to get cancer and be Thor. That's...
No, but in the comic has this Stormbreaker, right?
Yeah.
And then Mjolnir is still who knows where.
Mjolnir is destroyed.
No, didn't Captain America have Mjolnir?
Yeah, but he brought it back to the timeline, and then Hela broke it at Thor 3.
So how's she going to be? Is she going to take Stormbreaker?
No, I think she gets Mjolnir. Like when they introduced Natalie Portman as the new Thor, she was holding Mjolnir prop.
But doesn't make sense. The Mjolnir is destroyed.
Think about it. They're doing the multiverse stuff first. I'm assuming that's kind of how it's going to lead in.
Okay, I may bring it back.
Yeah, and then she picks it up and she gets cancer because of it.
I thought she had cancer already, and then.
No, what happens is she picks it up and the Odin force is too strong for her like mortal body.
Because she's
gives her cancer.
She kills herself because of it. That's like the dumbest backstory ever.
Kill herself.
Why are you able to wield it if it's killing you?
How come Captain America can wield it? Super soldier.
Because he's got the super soldier serum.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, what about Black Panther?
Plus, he only wielded it for a little bit.
Black Panther picks it up. That's true. That is very true.
Black Panther doesn't pick it up.
In the comics, he does.
Oh yeah. Well, Wakanda,
Yeah, that's true.
Wakanda does everything.
Vibranium cures cancer. You didn't know that?
Vibranium just can do anything.
Yeah.
It can stop a bullet wound from getting to the spine. It can cure cancer.
It could cure you of all your Hydra mind manipulation.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, speaking of movies that's not Black Widow, actually count to the story of Marvel. Dan, aren't you going to talk about the upcoming Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, I think this is probably the most anticipated movie in the lineup besides Multiverse of Madness, to be honest.
When did that come out?
I feel like it's more.
2022?
Yes.
I think
it's filming right now as of this recording.
Okay.
So really, I don't think we actually have that many concrete things that we know about it. We know that Jamie Foxx is going to come back as Electro.
Oh.
We know what's Doc Ock's actor?
I have no idea. I didn't know Doc Ock was going to be in it.
Yeah, I confirmed that he's in it.
Yeah, the actor that played him from the original trilogy is coming back.
From the original trilogy? From the Sam Raimi?
Yep.
Yeah, from the Sam Raimi,
Yeah.
from the second movie. He's coming back.
Okay.
It's unconfirmed of what he's coming back as. It's just coming back.
Which
Okay.
we're assuming is Doc Ock.
Yes,
And-
we're just
Is
assuming.
Yeah.
Is Vulture going to be in it again?
I don't know.
I think
But
Vulture's confirmed.
I don't think he's confirmed as Vulture.
But the actor is.
I think the actor himself. Well, I guess he is Vulture, but I don't know if he's gonna be actually flying around and stuff.
As Vulture. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So what people are thinking originally, I think people thought that the movie would be like him trying to clear his name and like Kraven the Hunter was going to be hunting him or something. But now people are thinking they're doing Spider-Verse and they're going to bring back the original Spider-Man and then Andrew
Amazing
Garfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Because
wait, why do people think that?
Andrew
Isn't it-
Garfield's stunt double is confirmed, but not Andrew Garfield. Not Andrew Garfield himself.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty strong evidence to suggest that at least there's going to be some cameos.
What's the movie called again? Didn't the name come out? Or was that?
Yeah, it's a Spider-Man No Way Home. So I've heard that because of that title, people think that this is when he gets trapped in the Sonyverse, and that's when he's going to meet up with Venom and Morbius and stuff.
Oh,
My
that'd be
boy.
sick.
My boy.
Yeah, you like that, Al?
I'm
Sick.
I honestly really want to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Venom. You know what? I know it probably won't happen, but like speaking of like up and coming stuff, like Let There Be Carnage Venom 2, like it's not gonna happen, but I've always wanted like Spider-Man and Venom to like team up and beat Carnage as they did in the comics.
You don't think that's going to happen? I feel like if Tom Holland ends up there, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
How's Carnage going to
well, I mean, I hope so.
Because
I
Carnage
no,
is
no,
already
no. Tom
confirmed
Holland-
as the villain for.
Yeah, but no, if Tom
Venom
Holland
2.
ends up there, he's not going to stay there, is he?
I think because they've said that Spider-Man is the only hero in the MCU that can cross universes,
As he's done before, yeah.
and I think what they actually meant by that is that since he's shared between Sony and Marvel right now, that since they can both use him for their own movies, they're gonna have him end up there at the end of No Way Home. They could do whatever they want with him in the Sonyverse because it doesn't matter, and then he'll come back for the next, I guess, Young Avengers or next Spider-Man movie.
Agreed.
So what
I
do you guys think the plot's gonna be? Because like because
Austin, man,
Electro Doc Ock, it sounds like it's like a Sinister Six thing.
yeah.
It
But then
sounds like
again-
it, but it'd be
Yeah.
too much to put in the multiverse, the other three
Honestly-
Spider-Man, and the Sinister Six. I feel.
Yeah, it's a lot.
in my theory, I just thought about it. If they have the other Spider-Man, like Andrew Garfield and the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, right? They could do
Tobey
Sinister Six. Yeah, they could do Sinister Six using those villains. Because if you notice in the Spider-Man movie, they don't use the same villain. The Sam Raimi used Dr. Octopus, Green Goblin, Sandman.
Yeah.
Then Amazing Spider-Man used the Lizard and
Well, they use Green Goblin too. Then they use
Yeah, but-
Rhino and
then used
Electro.
Rhino. And then
I don't
the-
count Rhino
Yeah, not really.
for that 2
then-
seconds.
then
That
the
doesn't
new
count.
Spider-Man used Vulture and Mysterio.
And Mysterio.
Mysterio died, but use Vulture, right? If you use
People think he didn't though. Mysterio. People
Hmm?
think it was just a trick.
Yeah, people think because all the Edith says is there's no illusions up.
Oh, I see. Okay. In quotation marks, he's dead. Right?
Yeah.
But okay, so let's say they go through multiverse stuff, and then let's say Mysterio is alive, and he's like, I'm gonna make my whole grand plan. I'm gonna go to the multiverse and create the Sinister Six. Using Sam Raimi's some villains from there, using the Lizard from Amazing Spider-Man and Electro from the new one, not the Amazing Spider-Man Electro. Wait, that is the same Electro, no?
It is the same
Yeah,
Electro.
yeah. So let's say he goes, gets Lizard and Electro. He gets Dr. Octopus, because that's the same actor, right?
Yep.
Gets Dr. Octopus, gets Green Goblin from there too, if he wants. Maybe gets Sandman, then gets Vulture at 6. And then there you go, Sinister Six. And then he has 3 Spider-Man versus 3 Sinister Six. And
I don't
that's
think you
the-
could do that. Sandman is a good guy at the end, and Green Goblin nobody liked from the Amazing Spider-Man.
True.
No, but Green Goblin was in the original one.
But
Yeah, but
he's
he died.
Harry. He's Harry. He's his friend at the end, and then he dies.
Both of them die.
That's they do die.
And I mean, if they're gonna end up using a Green Goblin. I've said this countless times. Maybe it's just my opinion. I really want him to be like a goblin, like
No, but
like just
Goblin's
as
not a
he.
goblin in comics. It's some dude that wears a suit.
Well,
In some comics he is.
he has
Sometimes,
been.
yeah, sometimes he is, but most times.
People think they're
Like-
also going to
like-
put in Miles Morales. If he puts in that,
I
they can
hope
give him
so.
the original Goblin.
Yeah, but
No, I
Miles
hope-
is already in the MCU. We just haven't seen him.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
We've had references to him.
When?
The Prowler is in Spider-Man
Is it,
Homecoming.
Spider-Man Homecoming. He webs into his car to his groceries. He's like, oh, he opens his trunk, and Spider-Man webs him.
Yeah,
That's probably.
yeah.
Again?
And
Brother?
he's the Prowler. He makes reference to
Is
and he
it
has
the one?
that he has
is it the
a
guy-
cousin
Is it?
living in
is
this
it
area,
the
which
guy-
is Miles.
The guy
No,
in the
a
parking
nephew.
lot. Wait, is it the guy in the parking lot that he webs him? And he's like, is it gonna come out?
Yeah,
Is that Danny
he
Glover
makes-
or Charles Gambino?
yeah,
Yeah.
That's the Prowler.
yeah.
I
Make
That's
didn't-
reference to his, they make
Prowler.
reference to his nephew, and even in a deleted
Yeah,
scene, he
I
calls
thought
his nephew.
Plus, don't you remember when he was buying the weapons at the more towards the beginning when they mention climbers, he gets all interested
Why would he get interested in climbers?
Agreed.
because Prowler's all about like jumping and climbing around and stuff.
Yeah,
Damn, they did mention Smile. Okay.
yeah. We don't see him at all, nor do we
I mean, they
know that he
can't-
has powers.
They can't show him at all because Sony made a move. They make another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, but I mean, he is technically still in it.
Okay. I mean, Sony's movie of Miles Morales about the multiverse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And literally at the end of the first movie, Gwen Spider is like, "Yo, need you again," and you see Spider, the future Spider-Man, 2066 or whatever. He's like, "I
yeah.
gotta
You
go
also
fix."
see the old one too.
He's like, "I gotta go fix the multiverse stuff." So he
I
could
thi-
come into the main Marvel universe, but like he's kind of animated, so they do that.
I actually think it
Maybe,
would
but-
be cool if they made reference at least like let's say Doctor Strange like opens a portal and he's like, oh, there's infinite universes, and you see quickly like a shot of one of
You gotta see
those
the pig one. You gotta see the pig
Yeah.
one. That's all I need to see.
Peter Porker.
People want to see that, and people want to see the old Japanese TV show that had nothing to do with Spider-Man. Both called it.
Wait, what? What is
Yeah,
that?
there was an old Japanese cartoon, like TV show that was called the Spider-Man, and it like had nothing to do with the actual Spider like man, but it was from the Marvel comics.
What the heck?
Okay.
It's so
Dang.
weird. I
Look
think
it up.
that,
It's like
yeah. I mean, we can just put on
uses
screen.
guns. Uses guns. He has like a mech suit that he like transforms into.
Spider-Man.
Ooh.
No, it's not. He got his powers from like the Spider Queen of Galactian, some alien.
Yo, how do you think the Spider-Man would start? Would it start with him just running away? Everyone knows identity.
Okay,
I think it'll
so-
start exactly where it takes off from Spider-Man 2.
He's
Is what I
like,
do.
we're like, oh no, or whatever.
What they've said is that half of the people believe that he's innocent and half of the people think that he's guilty, right?
But they still know his identity. That's the worst part.
They do.
Yeah.
So what I think is going to happen is that they're going to discuss a trial, right? Where they're going to put him up just like as a murderer basically. And I
If they
think
do a trial, I want Daredevil to be his lawyer.
I was about to say,
Lawyer.
you can make reference to Daredevil and She-Hulk as potential lawyers for him.
Oh,
And
that's
then
one.
But isn't She-Hulk Banner's cousin?
yeah, but
How did she
She-Hulk
get her powers?
blood transfusion.
Blood transfusion.
Okay,
That's
but
one that
Banner
uses the Hulk's
hasn't,
powers.
Banner hasn't been. He hasn't referenced his cousin, and he's Hulk now. He doesn't transform.
Yeah,
but
but what happens?
her show is coming up.
Yeah, her show's coming up.
It
And what
is?
happens in the comics is she gets into like a car accident, and they're like, "We'll use my cousin's blood. There's nothing wrong with using the Hulk's blood."
Coming up? I didn't even know. Okay, that changes everything.
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
there's
that-
Miss
that's a-
Marvel, there's Moon Knight, there's
Oh, there's Miss
She-Hulk.
Okay, there's Moonlight.
There's a lot coming up. There's
Yeah,
the
Moon
what
Knight's
ifs.
coming out.
Yeah,
there's
they cast
what if
as
not
Isaac.
relevant? What if don't care? They casted Moonlight.
Yeah.
Moonlight or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Moon Knight as Isaac.
Dude,
I forget his last name.
She-Hulk is one of the series I'm actually really excited about.
I'm kind of excited for Miss Marvel for some
I'm
reason.
excited for Moonlight.
I'm excited for What If. I think that's gonna be cool, seeing different takes on movies.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Oh yeah, that's right. There is What If coming.
But what if aren't connected to the main.
No, they're connected to their own thing.
Yeah.
Well, would they not still be a property from Marvel? So it's more like a branch universe type thing.
It's like a multiverse thing. Like in one universe this happens, in one universe this happens.
So then it is canon.
It's canon, technically yes, but weirdly not.
Technically, Venom is canon, and so the other Spider movie.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of like that. I like the fact that since this is like the third reincarnation of Spider-Man, and it's like, oh, really? We need another one? Now they're being like, yeah, well, the past ones are canon now too.
Even in the what's it called? You know, in the Sony made the animated one, when he meets the other Peter Parker, the one that mentors him,
yeah,
and he's talking about his past achievements. You see a clip of him holding back the Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the Peter Parker from Sam Raimi's, isn't it?
Yeah.
Weren't they originally going to get him to voice act it too?
They didn't.
They didn't, but I thought originally they were planning on it, and then they decided to go with someone else.
If they did, that'd be
cool.
Man, maybe Spider-Man's gonna. If they do the multiverse stuff, it'll lead in right to Doctor Strange.
That's what.
Yes. That's what the people. Because Spider-Man's also Doctor Strange is supposed to appear in Spider-Man, and I believe Spider-Man's also supposed to appear in Doctor Strange. I don't know about the last one.
I don't think that's confirmed, but Doctor Strange is confirmed for
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently,
people think you can see him in some photos and some
maybe he's the one who's going to help him get through the jump between multiverses.
What they've said is that he acts like a mentor to Peter, the way that Iron Man was.
Fair enough.
Which I'm like, there's more Spider-Man content than there is Doctor Strange content, right? So like, should he be the mentor?
Also, they have vastly different power sources too. Mentor.
Yeah. Plus, I'm like, you have such different views on life. Spider-Man's like, oh, let's deal with the small guy and save the man on the street. Guy. And then Doctor Strange is like, nah, I will kill everyone if it means saving the
earth. Legit, actually.
That's crazy. In the comics, Spider-Man gets his identity revealed.
Yeah, and then Doctor Strange reverses time.
Which is what people think is going to happen. He's going to go to him and be like, hey, can you undo this?
Yeah, people think he's going to go to him and be like, oh, can you undo this? And Doctor Strange's like, you got to do me a favor first.
Yeah, help me deal with this nonsense.
They don't have the time stone anymore.
Yeah, but he can still use a spell. Or something.
Can't reverse time with no spell.
I don't think it was a time reversal. Wasn't it that he just basically made everyone in the world forget?
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah. That's what he did. He used like a mind wipe. He made everyone forget, including Aunt May and Mary Jane.
Yeah.
And he goes like, "That is your consequence for this."
And Spider-Man's like, "Dang man, it's not even my fault."
Spider-Man's like, "Oh, okay," and then like a couple of issues later, he tells them.
Could you have just told them immediately?
Yeah, but he figured it was too much of a burden.
Yeah, but they already dealt with the burden before.
Yeah, but he's like, now I don't have to deal. Now I don't have to give them the burden.
Man, get out of here.
And then something happens. He's like, oh, I have to leave. Why? Oh crap. I guess I'm Spider-Man. Bye. All right, guys. Who do you think will win in a fight? Into next episode.
Fight between who?
Yeah.
Iron Man or Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange.
I think
I agreed. The nanotech suit is different.
Yeah, but the power. Okay, Iron Man is like sick, right? And he's super smart. But you can't compete with magic.
I think if you give Iron Man time to prepare, I think he could.
Oh, okay. Prep time. Are we saying they both get prep time?
Yeah, we'll give him a day prep time.
So okay, fine. Convince me. Why do you think he could be Doctor Strange?
Wait. I have a thing.
Okay.
Doctor Strange will win. You know why?
Why?
Put him in a constant time loop until Iron Man admits defeat, just like
Yeah,
he did with Dormammu.
He can only do it with a time
I've
stone.
come to bargain.
Oh man.
So are we saying that which ones are we saying during Endgame? Those two versions of the character.
I'm saying at the end of Endgame, Iron Man survives and they fight.
Yeah, we'll say that. We'll go end of
All right,
Endgame.
So tell me why do you think what would he prep? I still think it's Doctor Strange.
How far after Endgame? Like right after?
Right after everyone, like the whole funeral scene with that's not for Iron Man. Let's say it's for Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers died instead. And then
they spill drinks on each other and
then
they
the
fight.
funeral's done. They're like, yeah, let's fight.
Yeah.
Well, let's go. Let's take it to the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if all the magic I've seen Doctor Strange do is maybe a little whip, maybe some little gauntlets he does, and his cape flies around. That's it. Okay. In his whole movie, that's all he did. No other magic. Any other magic was a time stone. Okay. Iron Man has proven that. See that nanotech? See when he fought that big guy next to Squidward, those things popped out and made extra lasers.
Did you see Squidward?
You remember that Squidward guy? And then he came.
That's what Tony Stark calls him.
Yeah. And then he came with his boy, the big one. Tony just blocked him away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Counterpoint. He 1v1 Thanos with 3 stones and went toe-to-toe with him.
So did Iron Man.
Iron Man only did it after blocking the gauntlet. He blocked him from closing his hand, but Doctor Strange did it while he was using the stones.
Okay, but all Doctor Strange did was throw some glass at him, some next dimension thing that he just Thanos punched away.
He tried to put him in the mirror dimension.
Yeah, and Thanos
it made copies of himself.
It didn't work. He made a copy of himself, which that's irrelevant to Iron Man. A bunch of missiles cleared the copies.
He blocked a black hole like it was nothing.
Okay, that's a little BS.
Iron Man took the hit of a moon and it was fine.
Yeah, but he went through a moon at Iron Man. Iron Man tanked it.
All I did was made him mad.
Yeah.
What? Okay. So you're saying that he could just So you were saying that he was able to beat the big guy with the hammer guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't beat him, but he shot him away. If he could make those extra laser things pop out from his back and shoot more to amp him up, he could do that again.
Yeah, well, Wong was able to cut his hand off with the portal. Doctor Strange could do that to his torso.
That's got to be well timed, okay? That portal thing was timing. That's why. He just closed the portal, and the guy happened to put his hand through before he closed it.
Damn. Okay. I don't know. I don't know because Doctor Strange. Okay. I just really.
We're talking about to the death.
Talking morals off to the death.
Literally, Doctor Strange could put Iron Man into a mirror dimension, sure, and then
the fight's over. Over.
But we're talking to the death. Iron Man has a lot more lethal prowess. Okay, missiles, lasers. Doctor Strange has no kill move. Okay.
So you can make shields. You can make whips.
That's not gonna kill no one. Not again.
It can hold him back, and then he
not with Iron Man's like suit on. You don't think he can? We never seen it.
Captain America got more killing prowess than Doctor Strange. He's got
a gun.
No, he summons what was his name again? Wong.
Wong.
Wong is OP. You can't bring him in.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how Iron Man.
I feel like Iron Man just goes in with War Machine as well. Then.
Hey man, have you guys seen Iron Man 1? You know when Iron Man does the presentation for the Jericho missile?
Yeah.
I love that scene.
You bring that with him.
That's already been used.
Use it again.
How about How about they go somewhere completely remote? Okay, and then Doctor Strange pulls out a cheap one and summons a Wong.
No, that's not fair.
Okay, call War Machine. War Machine's across the country, across the globe.
Have you seen Iron Man 2? Have you seen that laser he puts out? That red laser that cuts through everything? Bang.
What's it gonna do against a guy who can make a portal?
It doesn't matter. It can make a portal, cut his head off.
What do you mean? Put the portal in front of you and then it shoots back at him.
Dodge the portal. Iron Man can fly 350.
So can Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange can levitate. Really.
Doctor Strange creates multiple portals around Iron Man. He can't escape. How about
that? You only see 2 of them being made at a time.
Hey, you don't know how we know how long it takes to make. It takes time.
You only see 2 make at a time. You only see 2 make at a time. Exactly. Actually, you only see a wizard do 1 at a time. Actually.
Zach, you dodge that, shoot the laser.
How about when he summoned everybody during Endgame?
That was
Exactly.
different. That was all.
wasn't him.
That was all the wizards doing that.
Zach,
it
that
looked
wasn't
like.
him.
No, we never
No,
see anyone.
yeah.
No.
Yeah,
You
you don't know
just
that.
look at a
No,
wall.
listen, he
You
summoned
only see,
himself.
yeah,
Okay,
you also,
maybe
you also have to look at
Wong,
Wong to
but
make the
that's-
second portal. You have to look at Wong to make the second portal in Infinity War.
That's
He can
just
make one in himself.
that's
Why does he make
conserving
two?
energy. That's conserving energy.
In
You have to,
So
you have to do
he-
the hand. You have to do the hand
so he was-
motion. You can only do
so
the
he
hand
wa-
motion with one hand.
He was able to summon like Wong, and did he also summon other people as well right away?
No. In Endgame, when he made this portal thing at the very end, the only people he brought back was him, the Guardian, and Spider-Man. Everyone else was the other wizard and one. Okay.
What can Iron Man do that is going to be a kill shot on Doctor
Iron
All the
Man-
Strange?
missiles he has.
Missiles,
You mean the missiles that he could block with his shields that were able to block the blast
laser
of Thanos' ship?
Even-
Iron Man.
Even if you say Doctor Strange can make swords and shields, so can Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Iron Man's is limited because as you break them, the nano gets lost.
Okay. Have you seen? He has an arc reactor. Have you seen those lasers he shoots out from? The repulsor blast.
Portal, easy.
Okay. What about the freezing thing he did when he closed up the? He froze his wound. Ice thing. When Squidward got thrown out, he blocked it with that ice thing in Endgame or Infinity War.
He used like the Flex Seal. I don't know. Like, I just think that the fact that you have magic on your side is way stronger than nanotech.
Saying this magic you're talking about has no lethal damage.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when he throws a wall of the mirror dimension at you? Thanos had to punch through it with an infinity stone.
Wait. So you've seen Doctor Strange use portals as something he uses on defense, but what if he offensively uses them? He puts it over half of your body and just closes
That's
the portal.
I feel like
He
Iron
can
Man would
do
just
that.
fly through
That's a
either one.
benefit, and I told Daniel it's all on timing. If we see the portal coming, Iron Man could just go through the portal.
Well, guess
before
what? Doctor Strange could make clones of himself, and they could all make portals.
The clone can't make portals.
Why not? They were all able to make whips, and all the whips were effective.
He does have a point. He does have a
Yeah,
point.
but like we said, he can use the multiple missiles, the multiple
Exactly, the multiple
aiming
missile, yeah.
missiles.
Yeah, but those are limited.
He uses up all his missiles. They all make shields.
No, here's the thing. Iron Man, I assume he has a way limited source of missiles than Doctor Strange can make clones of himself. If you think about it.
He just to move his hand to make clones, whereas Iron Man has like a limited supply.
Let's leave this a debate for the comics, guys, because unfortunately we're running out of time.
Okay.
Alec, very constructive criticism, I see.
I did nothing.
I sat and admired the wisdom that bestowed upon me.
Well, who do you think? Be a tiebreaker. Actually, yeah, be a tiebreaker because it's 2v2.
So, which argument am I breaking up?
Are useless.
Alright, so guys, decide in the comments.
Yeah, decide in the comments.
Wait. There were like two, like in that 30 minutes, there were like 3 different superhero battles going on.
What? No,
Maybe it
Okay.
felt like it.
Thanks for watching, y'all.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.